Zimbabwe's government says it's on course to rejoin the Commonwealth. Harare left the 53-member grouping made up largely of former British colonies in 2003. It was at the height of late former President Robert Mugabe's land reform program. To talk more about what it'll mean for Zimbabwe to rejoin the Commonwealth, we're joined by political analyst Ebo Mandaza. Very good morning to you. Why would Zimbabwe want to rejoin? What's in it for them? What do they think they'll get?
Well, it's made a strange reading for me. I wasn't aware of this until your reporter brought it to my attention yesterday. But reading the article in the Herald, the government newspaper, it didn't give many details. But essentially, it's difficult to understand how Zimbabwe could rejoin the Commonwealth under the current political and economic circumstances. For a start, the reasons for which Zimbabwe pulled itself out of the Commonwealth remain very alive, namely the human rights abuses, the rule of law, or the absence of it, the lack of constitutionalism, an unaccountable executive, and a legislature which is not vibrant, which has been depleted of at least 43 elected members of parliament. You have a compromised judiciary. You have all the things that have also caused the EU, Britain and America to renew the sanctions which have been in place for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder who they think they're fooling. I mean, they also tell us that they are already in the second stage of joining the Commonwealth. I mean, do we take that as truth? I mean, why would the Commonwealth want them in?
Well, it's difficult to understand. I think the foreign minister of Britain, as it Rab or somebody, a few weeks ago on the 1st of February, specifically made it clear that Britain would not sponsor Zimbabwe's re-entry into the Commonwealth. And if, which is possible, that there may be members of the Commonwealth, namely South Africa itself, and even Rwanda, where the next Commonwealth heads of state meeting is taking place, may want to sponsor Zimbabwe, but it's difficult to reconcile that with the initiative by Cyril Ramaphosa last year, in which he sent 2 delegations to Harare to resolve what everyone sees as a crisis in Zimbabwe, except Zimbabwe itself, Zimbabwe government itself. And in Zimbabwe itself, I mean, why is Emerson Mnangagwa so intent on a dialogue, which has caused him to form a consortium called Pollard? And why would South Africa want to send emissaries into Zimbabwe to resolve the crisis, and at the same time sponsor Zimbabwe to get into the Commonwealth? It's difficult. I think it doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, you can see what Zimbabwe would like to get from it. I mean, you know, possible lifting of sanctions to help its dire economic state. And I'm just wondering where it leaves reform. I mean, we haven't seen reform under 2 decades of sanctions. It's not likely to happen now, and certainly not if it enters the Commonwealth.
Yes, precisely. I mean, we have argued in a different platform that the Zimbabwe state is incapable of reform. It is caught in a time warp, which is caught in its own contradictions, the same contradiction which led to the coup 3 years ago. And the crisis persists, and that nothing will happen until Zimbabwean state is helped out of its dilemma. And what the Commonwealth will be doing, what some of us have been suggesting, that the Commonwealth or members thereof should help in mediation for Zimbabwe to return to be re-engaged internationally, to bring about constitutionalism, the rule of law, and the implementation of the Constitution of 2013, to revive the economy, to restore the national institutions, to have a Truth and Reconciliation Commission type of exercise to deal with 2 decades of atrocities, killings, abductions, arbitrary arrests, and what have you. So there's a lot to be done. So I think the Commonwealth, some of us are in a group which is trying to get members of the Commonwealth, or some of them at least, including South Africa, to mediate, to get Mnangagwa to the table, to understand that nothing can happen, not even readmission to the Commonwealth.
Okay, unless they sort this out. Ibo Mandaza, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much.